What's going on, Colts fans? And hey, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Man, if you follow Hanukkah, Christmas, it doesn't matter, man. I really appreciate you guys being here. This is the holiday season. You know, everybody's got a holiday darn near that they're following right now. So great. I hope you're having a fun time. Hey, don't forget, there are a lot of people out there that during the holiday season it's really rough on them. So if you know somebody like that, man, reach out to them. Let them know that you're thinking of them. I'd really appreciate it. Brightens up the day of a lot of people. Just to give them a call or go by and say, hey, what's up, man? You doing all right? So just keep that in mind for the day. Moving on. Huge news. And I will get into that in a little bit with the Braden Smith going on the COVID list just days before the Indianapolis Colts face the Pittsburgh Steelers, the 11-3 Pittsburgh Steelers, and that pass rusher known as TJ Watt. I mean, Braden Smith was great against his brother JJ, but he won't be there for TJ, and that's just sad. We'll go over some options for that in preparation for that game. Hopefully, we'll see a few moves there. We won't just see Clark or Chaz Green sitting over there on the right tackle on an island against TJ Watt, because that would just be an utter destruction right there. Utter destruction. But hey, how about them Colts? 10-4, right? 10-4. Have an opportunity to go exactly as I said. I said beginning of the season, 12-4. If the Colts can beat the Steelers and the Jaguars, they'll end up 12-4. There's going to be a team out there, most likely, that's going to go 11-5 this year in the AFC and not make the playoffs. So the Colts cannot afford to lose against Pittsburgh, because teams that could go 11-5 and knock us out, the Baltimore Ravens, right? We lost to them. They hold the tiebreaker over us. Cleveland Browns could go 11-5. They hold the tiebreaker over us. They beat us. Tennessee, they have a better divisional record. If they go 11-5, we're out, most likely, right? So you think about that. Now Tennessee, they would own the division. So I don't think that'll really hurt us too much. But think about it. If Pittsburgh beats us and then lose in week 17 to the Browns, they'll have the tiebreaker over us because they've beaten us. So did the Browns. So did Baltimore. 3 out of the 4 NFC North teams beat us in the regular season. So if those 3 teams go 11-5, we probably won't be in the playoffs. We probably won't. We'll be knocked out at 11-5. So the Colts absolutely, without question, have to win against Pittsburgh. Have to. And defensively, I think Indianapolis can just walk in and just annihilate the Steelers' offense. I think the Colts' defensive front, I think they're good enough. I mean, because the Pittsburgh's offensive line has just been awful. I don't know if you watched my film room on it, but they are awful. They're not playing with aggression. They might start playing with aggression this week because they held a players-only meeting that Ben Roethlisberger held. So that might get them pumped up, realize, hey, you know what? We can't be doing this. We got to beat the Colts because we got the Browns in week 17 for the divisional title. So expect them to come out and try hard. But our defense is healthy. I mean healthy. We got 3 guys with 7.5 sacks. Okay? Between Autry, Buckner, and Houston. And let's not forget about Grover Stewart sitting over there. And we got guys that are rotational. You know, Al-Qadim Muhammad has played pretty good on his snaps. Freaking multiple people. Tyquan Lewis has played very well on his snaps. Even Kimoko Toure last week against Houston Texans, multiple times. I think he even got a half a sack, right? He got in there and did a lot of good stuff. Taylor Stallworth has played very well at the defensive tackle position. So, yeah, I think this is a good chance for this front four to get pressure on Big Ben. Because everybody knows Big Ben's trying to get rid of the football, and they know that the Colts are a very zone-heavy team. So you might see them try to hold the ball a little bit longer in hoping to get players in the open spots in our zone, which is going to give this defense opportunities on Roethlisberger. But what the Colts have to do is what they always do well. Hit hard, tackle well in the secondary. You've seen multiple times. These Pittsburgh Steelers receivers have a hard time catching and holding on to that football. They can catch the football and then get popped. I mean, you've seen what happened to Juju Smith-Schuster. I like to see the Colts do that to every time a receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers catch the football. I want to see someone lighten them up. Make them wish that they had not. Make them rethink their life choices while the ball's in the air, right, for the rest of the game. One pop right away will do that to you. I'd love to see that. And I want to make Ben Roethlisberger's day awful. Now, for the Steelers, Connor's going to be playing. So you're going to see a lot of James Conner and Benny Snell in this game. Okay? The Colts have to stop the run. Have to. This is the 31st worst. This is the second worst rushing team in the NFL. The second worst rushing team in the NFL. I mean, they only average 89 yards a game. 89 yards a game rushing. Yet the Colts, as you know, allow less than 100 yards themselves at 98 yards a game. We cannot afford to let the Pittsburgh Steelers run game get up and get going. So I'm expecting a huge game out of this team. Huge. This would be a great Christmas gift to Colts fans if the Colts walk in to Heinz Field and walk out with a double-digit win. Would it not? How many people here would love to see that? All right, so since I've been running for about 8 minutes, I'm going to get into the Braden Smith situation now, okay? Now, with Braden Smith on the COVID-19 list, you got a couple options that you can run. One, I had this idea of a spy, right? Tight end spy, whether you got Alie-Cox or Jack Doyle. Don't use Trey Burton because he can't run block for jack squat, all right? But Alie-Cox, Trey Burton, two good run blockers. Whichever side of the field, whether he's over the left tackle or the right tackle, I don't care. Have them follow him. Have them follow him to wherever that's at to give help against TJ Watt. We cannot let TJ Watt wreck this game, okay? That's all I got to say about that. That's option one. We could do that. It's simple. It'd be easy to implement. Now, the more tougher thing to implement with a very high ceiling but a very low reaction to this is you drop Danny Pinter at left guard and bring Quentin Nelson to the left, to right tackle. If you did that, one, now I understand Quentin Nelson's probably never played one snap at right tackle since he's been a Colt. Probably since he's ever played football, okay, at right tackle. But could you imagine the run power on that side? Starting from Ryan Kelly, Mark Glowinski is a beast mauler in the run game. All right. His weakness is pass protection, but he can maul in the run game. And then you got Quentin Nelson out there. Now, Danny Pinter can move too. So imagine if we had pulling guards of Danny Pinter rolling over to that left side and running it with Jonathan Taylor. Oh my goodness. That would be a painful situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Brandon A says Ravens need to win to make the playoffs because if we don't, Ravens fans are going to lose their mind. And it's true. It's true. But at the same time, right now, they're on the outside looking in, right? I mean, they're the 8th seed, I believe, if I remember correctly, if I look last. And Colts hold their playoff hopes in their own hands. Win and they're in. Win and they're in. And that's all that matters. So I like the idea of Quentin Nelson going to right tackle, but the problem is how fleet of foot at moving is Quentin Nelson at right tackle, because TJ Watt, his huge benefit is being able to get around that outside edge and get to quarterbacks. And I'm scared of that. And Nelson's not used to having to move. Now, when he pulls, he's a great pulling guard. But when he takes off, he's running straight along that edge. He's not moving side to side, right? So that's a huge difference. That's the difference between lateral mobility and just turning your whole body and then taking off in a straight direction. I would give him a few snaps to start the practice off, see if he could handle it. Put Kimoko Toure on the outside edge. Let him protect against Kimoko doing outside rushes. See if he can handle him. If he can handle him, then I think he can handle TJ Watt. I'm not saying Kimoko Toure is as good as TJ Watt. I'm saying that Kimoko Toure's explosion and speed and bend is like TJ Watt, okay? TJ Watt's got power to go with it, though, right? So, but that's what more important on my side. I would not want to see him have to deal with that unless he can deal with that. Just my thought process. Let me know what you think. Do you think we should use a tight end spy? Maybe move Quentin Nelson out there instead. Drop Danny Pinter in at the left guard. Do you think we should just drop Chaz Green? Like I said, have Chaz Green out there and just leave one of our tight ends to help. Hey, my cats are having a fight right as I'm talking. That's awesome. We got Shadow and Finn up here, and my wife is going to come upstairs right now and grab Finn and bring him downstairs because they're still standing off on each other, and I don't want to have to talk to everybody. Give me a moment as she comes up the stairs and grabs the big old fluffy gray cat that's in my room right now.
Just let him duke it out.
Yeah, let him duke it out live on right here. Yeah, all right.
It'd be a sport.
Uh-huh, sure it will. Yeah, I got a couple cats in my house. I got 4, actually. 4 cats. And they're all monster cats. I mean, they're huge. It's like panthers. But let's see here. If it wasn't for Braden Smith, I would say if Braden Smith wasn't out, I'd say the Colts offense was just going to dominate. But now this TJ Watt thing kind of worries me even more. It worries me a lot more. But I still think the Colts could win. The thing about Phillip Rivers is he is the number 1 or number 2 rated quarterback in the NFL under pressure. All right. He has like the best or the second best passer rating in the NFL while under pressure this year. That's unbelievable considering what we've seen from him the last few years. I still think that, the quick passes out will help, but we got to be able to stretch the field against this Steelers defense. Because if we run little short, quick passes all the time, they're gonna get up on that and start jumping routes on us and getting interceptions like they love to do all season. We got to be able to stretch the field, and in doing that, we got to be able to run the ball so we can make play action work. So Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines, they've got a huge, huge plate on them right now. They got to produce. gotta produce. Because if the Colts can beat the Steelers without Braden Smith, even as bad as what that offense looks over the last few weeks for the Steelers, they can still move the football if needed. Right? I mean, they still scored points against the Bengals. I mean, granted, it was the Bengals, but they still scored points against them. Not a lot. I think like 17, something like that. But the Colts need to be able to score. They can't turn the ball over. If the Colts turn the ball over, that's going to give the Steelers offense a chance to win this game. So we cannot turn the football over at all. Phillip Rivers cannot take sack strips. Phillip Rivers cannot throw interceptions. And it's worrisome. Teddy Belcher says Colts are next in line to take a turn on the Pittsburgh train. I'm not going to mention the other word on that because that's not what I like to say here on live streams. But I get it. Yeah, next in line. No team in the history of the NFL has won 11 straight games to open the season up and then lost 4 straight, let alone 5. And the Steelers are seriously in trouble of doing that. First, they got to lose their 4th game straight. And the Indianapolis Colts have to do this. They have to do this. Come on, guys. We got to get this rolling. I think the offensive line has to play aggressive against this defensive line of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have to want it more. And we're playing in a cold Heinz Field. The Colts have not done well in Heinz Field throughout history. Throughout the history of the Colts-Steelers matchup. But a little good news. In the last 6 meetings, Phillip Rivers is 3-3 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, that's a whole lot better than what the Colts have been the last 6 meetings. I'll tell you that much. So Phillip Rivers know how to handle the Steelers defense. All right. So I got faith in Phillip Rivers. He's done so good this past 9 games. 4 picks. Only 4 picks and like 20-some touchdowns. Like 20 touchdowns and 4 picks in the last 9 weeks. Yeah, I'm okay with him. No, not 20. I think he's got 16. Either way, he's pretty solid in the last 9 weeks. In the last 9 weeks, he is well over that 3-to-1 touchdown turnover ratio that you want to see from a quarterback. So, but then again, we haven't really faced a lot of great defenses during that time. Baltimore, and that's about it, right? Now, Green Bay's got a great passing defense. And frankly, Phillip Rivers ate them up. Speaking of Green Bay. Titans, Green Bay. This game scares me because I don't think Green Bay is going to win this game. Green Bay's got an awful run defense. I get it that the Titans don't have a very good defense, period. But Green Bay's run defense is awful. Okay? We know this. We ran the ball all over them when we played them. That's why we beat them. That and turnovers. If we ran the ball on Green Bay, what the hell is Derrick Henry going to do? It's going to be like the Derrick Henry train all over Green Bay. I want to see Green Bay literally bring an extra guy up front, load the box against them for the first couple series against the Titans. Get to a 10 to 14 point lead against the Titans. Take them out. Take Henry out of the game. That's the only way they got a chance to beat Tennessee. The only way. Because if you don't stop Derrick Henry, he's going to dictate the game. He's going to run the ball all over you. He's going to keep the Titans defense fresh, wear down the Green Bay defense, and leave Aaron Rodgers and his magic over on the sideline. So you can't let that happen, Green Bay. Do us Colts a favor and stop his ass. All right? All I'm saying, about that. Oh, all right. Merry Christmas, Alonzo Baylor. Appreciate you. I definitely feel the Colts are going to win this game. Green Bay is going to beat the Titans. They can't stop the errands on that team. The defense is god-awful. But like I said, Green Bay's defense is not good either. Not their run defense. Good pass defense. They might have a chance. I mean, Green Bay's pass defense would have a chance, maybe, because quite frankly, since Ryan Tannehill's been a Tennessee Titan, he is the third highest rated quarterback in the NFL since he's been a Titan. That's scary. Ralph, we could get the Big Ben and frustrate him. Yeah, we can. I fully agree. We can. That offensive line for Pittsburgh's awful. We need to get to him. I want to see what the Bengals did to him in the first half. All right. I want to see 2 turnovers and 7 punts. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be awesome if you're a Colts fan and you saw the Colts defense make them go 3 and out like 7 times in the first half and get 2 turnovers? Oh my goodness. I'd be so excited. That'd be great. Hey guys, don't forget, smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share this if you hey, it's Christmas, guys. I know there ain't going to be a lot of people sitting here watching this, but you know, it's Christmas. I know there's a game on right now. Minnesota's playing, but I wanted to get up here. I do these on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, and I will do it no matter what because I do this for you. I do this for you guys. And I will keep my schedule unless I am on my deathbed at a hospital. I will keep my schedule, okay? Just letting you know it. Letting you know it. Alonzo just agreed with me. I know that Aaron Rodgers is magic. We've seen it. But if Aaron Rodgers is on the sideline and that Green Bay defense is gassed, that's a scary thought process, man. Scary, scary thought process. But for the Colts, how do you guys want to handle the right tackle situation? Do we have a tight end spy? Just follow TJ Watt wherever he goes and give help to wherever he goes, whether it's on the left tackle or the right tackle? Or do we put Danny Pinner at left guard, move Quentin Nelson to right tackle, and then just run towards the right all night behind Ryan Kelly, Mark Glowinski, who's just a mauler in the run game, and then Quentin Nelson, who's a mauler in the run game? I personally put Chaz Green at right tackle, and then whether or not it's Mo Alie-Cox or Jack Doyle, no Trey Burton, because Trey Burton can't block for Jack. He's a receiver. But Jack Doyle, Mo Alie-Cox, let them follow TJ Watt wherever he goes. Because don't forget, okay? TJ Watt goes over to the left side. Anthony Costanzo's been dealing with a knee injury the past few weeks. He's going to need help against TJ Watt too. So just have a tight end spy move along with him. You could even have the spy and move Quentin Nelson to right tackle. Why not do both? My goodness. Then we'd definitely be a running team, wouldn't we? But I'm going to tell you what. The Steelers, their run defense ain't no joke. All right. We're 5th in the NFL. The Steelers are 8th in the NFL in run D. They legitimately give up about 104 and 1/2 yards a game. We give up 98. They give up 104.5. Okay. So if we could average 4 yards a carry, just 4 yards, where the Colts have been averaging almost 7 yards a carry over the last 3 weeks. If they could just average 4 yards a carry against the Steelers and not turn the football over, this game is in the bag. anything but Chaz Green. Honestly, I think Chaz Green played better than LaRaven Clark. Just saying. And if it is Chaz Green on the outside, you could, like I said, you could put a tight end on the spy. And Zach Watson says he likes the spy idea. So yeah, that'd be great. And don't forget, like I said, you can move Quentin Nelson out to that right tackle spot, but he's got to take snaps on that today in practice. He'll have to. And like I said earlier in the stream, put Kemoko Turay out there and see if Quentin Nelson can handle that speed and bend. Because if he can handle Kemoko Turay's speed and bend around the edge, I think he'll be able to do okay against TJ Watt. Because that's the only thing that worries me about Quentin Nelson on the end is dealing with speed and bend. He can handle power like nobody's business. We've seen it. But speed and bend is a different animal to defend against. And I love Quentin Nelson as much as anybody else. But he's got weaknesses too. Nobody's perfect. All right, guys. Ugh. So, what's the score of this game? What's everybody got the score for the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Colts going to Heinz Field and facing them? Just curious. Now that we know that Braden Smith is out of this. Oh, you want 3 bold predictions for the offensive defense. I think the Colts run over 150 yards against Steelers defense. I really do. This defense is not the same. This Steelers defense is not the same since they've lost Bud Dupree, Devin Bush, right? They're just not the same team. Not even close. The loss of those 2 guys are huge. Now, we're going to have to deal with Cameron Hayward. All right, we are going to have to deal with Cameron Hayward. We're going to have to deal with TJ Watt. But Devin Bush and Bud Dupree are huge losses for the Steelers. So I think we can run on them. I really do. And I think the Colts win by 10. Now, I'm going to drop it to 7 now that Braden Smith is out. I had them winning by 10. I was going to say 27-17 Colts. Now I'm going to say 24-17 because the loss of Braden Smith on that right tackle is a huge, huge loss. Huge loss. I'm telling you. Ooh, that's a good, interesting question. Zach Watson says, when do you think Kemoko Turay will come back into form? He's slowly getting there, but we got to remember how bad that ankle injury was. That was one of the nastiest injuries. I mean, there's only one other injury that I could think of over the last 5 years that was worse than that ankle injury, and that was the broken leg from Alex Smith. So give the man some time. I mean, that ankle is everything for him. That's everything. His speed, his bend, his power, everything on that ankle. Ralph Flores says, Merry Christmas, go Colts. Jonathan Taylor should get his if Hines and Wilkins. Wilkins probably won't get too many carries in this game, by the way. The tight ends, wide receivers, and Rivers does well. He's got 24-18. Scott, I want to see the Colts do Sunday playing outside the weather. They're practicing indoors, which makes no sense to me today. Why are you practicing indoors the Friday before you're going to Heinz Field, which you know is not going to be, 73 degrees and sunny? Zach's got 27-3. And Scott's got low scoring, but Colts by 3. Hey, FaZe, no problem. Everybody's late once in a while. It's Christmas, man. You're forgiven. You're forgiven. If we play a full 60 minutes of football, I'll say the score will be 31-21, but if I'm being realistic, 28-17. See, I had 27-17, but like I said, that was before the Braden Smith injury. FaZe has got 28-17. That's that's pretty close to what I had. Yeah, Calvin, I know we've already went through it. We went through it already. Kelvin, like I said earlier, I had mentioned about there's the possibility of using a spy, a tight end spy. Just follow him, put Chaz Green out there at the right tackle, and use a tight end to go wherever TJ Watt goes, or put Danny Pinter at guard and move Quentin Nelson to right tackle. And then again, maybe use a spy with that too. Who knows? All right. FaZe, I want to explain a little bit about that. They didn't struggle against the offensive line. They struggled against the play calling because Ryan Finley was a mobile quarterback, and they were not prepared for a mobile quarterback. And the play calling used Ryan Finley to do a lot of RPOs. And Pittsburgh wasn't ready for that, which put the defensive line for Pittsburgh on the spot, and they weren't able to handle it. They weren't able to start closing in on that until late in the fourth quarter. Scott wants to know if AC is playing. As far as I know, he is. As far as I know, he is, but he still has that knee problem. Brandon says, I got the Colts winning, and do you think the Patriots could get back to being a Super Bowl contender in 2021? Not 2021. No. They've got too many holes. They need an upgrade at quarterback. They need upgrades at tight end and wide receiver. And they need a defensive tackle or two on that defense for the Patriots to become a Super Bowl contending team. But if they could get 2 or 3 of those situations fixed, Bill Belichick is good enough to make up for a loss of 1 or 2 spots on the roster. I'm just saying. I know we don't like talking about the Patriots too much here, but hey, I'm open to it because I talk about every NFL team, and you guys know it. Rivers smarter than their coaching anyway. I just don't know that the Steelers can score on our defense. Zach Watson says they're way tougher than Cincy, and D-Buck will be ticked. I agree. DeForest Buckner's going to be madder than heck. All right. And it's not just DeForest Buckner. All right. You think the rest of this defensive line ain't ticked off for DeForest Buckner? All right. What about there's other guys on this defense that was completely and utterly like stonewalled for the Pro Bowl. Kenny Moore should have made the Pro Bowl. Xavier Rhodes should have made the Pro Bowl. They didn't. This whole defense is going to be really ticked off. All right. Just let you know. Just let you know. So, hey, Kimberly Bray, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Go Colts. Appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, don't forget if you're here, smash the like button. Help me get the stuff up, the YouTube analytics up so that more people will see it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are a subscriber, please share this stream to your favorite social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, I don't care, wherever. If you want to drop it on, if you're a member of Reddit, go ahead, drop it on Reddit. That's great. I generally drop my stuff on Reddit, but if you drop it, it looks better for me. Just letting you know. Appreciate you guys all out here. I'm not worried about what happened with the Texans because Deshaun Watson's Deshaun Watson, right? I mean, the guy outside of Patrick Mahomes, I don't know if there's another quarterback out there that can do the things that Deshaun Watson can do. So just to beat him, yeah. Yeah, Alonzo Baylor, he agrees with me. Big Ben don't move at all. You're right. And their offensive line is playing so soft. Pittsburgh's offensive line, beginning of the year, they were aggressive. They were getting out in front of their blocks, pushing people back, getting blocks in the secondary, and now they're passively blocking. I expect that to change against the Colts because they got to know that if they do that against Indy, they're going to get blown up. See, the way I got this game going one of two ways. It's either going to be somewhat close or the Colts are going to blow the Steelers out. I could legitimately see a 43-10 win by the Colts, but I cannot see a 43-10 win by the Steelers. I just don't think the Steelers offense is capable of doing that at all against anyone, let alone the Indianapolis Colts defense. So, woo, Lonzo. MPJ is going to blow up. 8 catches, 107 and 2 touchdowns. And Taylor getting 135 and 2 touchdowns. If that happens, we win all day. I mean, if that happens, it's over. Just saying. I could see the Colts using a lot of tight ends in this game, mainly because of how good the Steelers' defense is against the run game. So play action off the run game with tight ends on the field. The tight ends might get a lot more because of how much Pittsburgh loves to blitz. Tight ends might start off with a block and then move out into a short flat or something for a reception for first downs. So I could see Doyle and Alie-Cox having big days today, or even Trey Burton. Even though I don't like Trey Burton, I like Trey Burton as a receiver. I just don't like him as an overall tight end because he sucks at blocking. And in my opinion, if you're a tight end, you need to be able to block and catch. You got to be able to do it all. I need those well-rounded tight ends out there. You know, just like a running back, I need you to be able to pass block, and I need you to be able to catch out the backfield. You know, thank God we have Tom Rathman as the running backs coach, right? Thank God we have Tom Rathman as the running backs coach, because it doesn't matter how good you are as a runner. He's going to straight tell you, you hold on to that football, you do not fumble it, and you got to pass protect. And I love that about Tom Rathman. I got a little scary proposition for you guys that I think I want to bring up as well. Matt Eberflus might not be a Colt next year. Think about that, guys. His name has been rolling around out there as a head coaching candidate for this season, especially if the Colts end up 12-4 and go further in the playoffs in the wild card round. I could see Matt Eberflus getting a few options at head coaching next year, especially with as many head coaches that were terminated mid-season. Wouldn't it be scary if we had to play against, what if the Texans hired Matt Eberflus as a head coach? That'd be awful. Honestly, I think the Falcons should. The Atlanta Falcons need a defensive. They got great offensive firepower. They need a defensive-minded head coach to turn that defense around. I think he'd be a great fit in Atlanta. I really do. But I don't want to see him go. But his best place in my thought process is one of two places: Atlanta or back. Could you imagine the Cowboys firing Mike McCarthy and then hiring Matt Eberflus as their head coach? I'm not too worried about it. Lonzo says he'd hate to see Caldwell in Houston. I don't care if Caldwell's in Houston. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I understand he was a Colts head coach, but he didn't do that well as a head coach here. He really didn't. And I don't know if Caldwell and Watson would work well together. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. Either way, I mean, the two biggest guys that I see that Houston's been talking to, Caldwell and Marvin Lewis, they're players, coaches. They're completely opposite of what Bill O'Brien was. So we can see what direction the Houston Texans are heading right now. What's up, Hayden Pie 8? Go Colts. What's going on, man? Yeah. But yeah, I would hate to see Eberflus leave, but if he does, I want to see him go to a place that he has an opportunity to change a culture on a team. Because I like Matt Eberflus. I just don't know who would take his spot on the Colts defense. Coordinator, you know? Do we use the defensive line coordinator because he's solid? The defensive line coach? Or do we go out and hire someone? I would think that the Colts would just promote somebody from already on the team because they understand the scheme and the players and everything, and you wouldn't want to change that because they're playing so well. So that's just my thought. Justice Montgomery says that Caldwell, he believes that he was a good head coach in Detroit. I think he was all right. I think he was dropped a little sooner. I think Caldwell lost his job in Detroit not because of his coaching, but because of the ownership of the team just wasn't able to give him the proper talent at specific levels to highlight the talent he already had. Right? Does that make sense to you? Because that's how I feel what happened with Jim Caldwell there. So if the Colts, hypothetically, Colts make it to the AFC Championship and or the Super Bowl, is Phillip Rivers the starting quarterback in 2021 for the Colts? Yes or no? It's an interesting question. I think if he wants to, I think we let him. But we got to be on the lookout for the guy no matter what. Even if we sign him back, I still say we be aggressive and find another quarterback. Not too aggressive. Maybe see if we can't get a trade in for Darnold or now, granted, if Matt Stafford is some way, somehow, Matt Stafford wants to come to Indy, I would take him and say, Phillip, it's been great. Thank you so much for the season you had. I mean, it's just what I'm saying. I would. Indiana Sports Talk, what's up? What's going on, guy? All right. Ray says 27-23. All right. So far, we don't have any. My camera's off. What? What do you mean my camera's off? My camera's on. Hold on. Let me go check YouTube, see what's going on. I'm seeing everything going good for me. All right. It's working. Okay. Had me scared for a second, guys. I accidentally tapped it, but okay. So where was I? I got all flustered right there on that last part, man. Yeah. Oh, Kelvin says he wouldn't. I assume that means with Matt Stafford. I love Matt Stafford. And if we got Sam Darnold to sit behind, if we don't get Matt Stafford and somehow we get Rivers next year, I'd still try to trade for Sam Darnold and have him and Jacob Eason sitting in the wings of Rivers so that Rivers could sit there and do that. That'd be great. I'd love to see Eason and Darnold because I think that'd be two shots. It's like what Chris Ballard likes to say. The more darts you throw at the board, the more chances you have at a bullseye, right? So if you got Jacob Eason and Sam Darnold sitting in the wings, you have a better chance of having a franchise quarterback long term. It might cost you a little bit more right now, but the potential of it long term would be worth it, in my opinion. I'm just That's what I'm thinking. And no one knows what Eason's like. You, me, nobody, because he hasn't had any first-team snaps. He has no game time, nothing like that. So we don't know. He could be the next future. He could be, but odds are he's not. I mean, a fourth-round pick is still a fourth-round pick. What's the future? Hey, that's a good question right there by Indiana Sports Talk. What's the future of Justin Houston? Do we re-sign Houston for another year or two? I mean, the guy's still producing. He's great off the edge. I think he's good at sealing the edge and playing maintain against mobile quarterbacks. And so right now he's got 7.5 sacks. He's tied for the lead in sacks on the team. I'd still say give the man another year or two. What do you think, guys? Would you give him a year or two more? I'd say, you know what? 2 years. Next year, you'd make $10 million. The year after that, you'd make $8 million. I would do that in a heartbeat. I mean, he's only making $10 million a year anyhow, I think, if I remember correctly, on his last contract, 2 years. Oh, good Lord, yes. Oh, my goodness, yes. Yes, Anthony Walker Jr., yes, definitely. Yes, re-sign him. Agreed, 110%. There's a lot of people that say don't. But good Lord, I don't think Anthony Walker is going to want $12 million a year. Okay? Darius Leonard is going to want 16 at least. I get Bobby Okeriki's good, but Bobby Okeriki's not as good against the run as Anthony Walker is. And Anthony Walker has improved drastically over this past year and a half in the pass defense. And he's just brilliant when it comes to making sure that the Colts defense is all in the right place at the right time, diagnosing the offensive plays before the ball's even snapped, and being right where it needs to be. I love Anthony Walker. Okay? So just let you know. I like Al-Qadim Muhammad. But he's a rotational. Is he better than Justin Houston? No. Is he better than Danico Autry? No. So he's rotational. Okay? He's rotational. He's great depth. We have amazing depth on the line. Amazing depth. I mean, between Tyquan Lewis and Al-Qadim and Kimoko and Taylor Stallworth. Heck, hopefully Ben Vanagoo steps up and becomes, part of that great depth at the D-line. I get that yes. Okay, so I get that we need to pay Nelson and Darius. Now, Nelson, we don't have to pay next year. We could drop fifth-year option on Nelson next year. We have to pay Darius next year. Absolutely have to pay him. And the good thing is we're going to have money. Oh yeah, I've seen Michael Pittman Jr.'s channel. I've seen a few of his stuff. Not all of them. I didn't see the last one where he bought a new car. I've seen the thumbnail on YouTube, but I didn't click on it yet because I've just been busy this week, But absolutely, man, I cover the Colts. So I see just about everything that comes out. Oh, no. Okay. So I did a film room on Sheldon Day. Well, I don't know if I did a full. Actually, I'm pretty sure I did. For Bring the Juice podcast, I'm pretty sure I did a Sheldon Day video. If I'm not mistaken, you can go to their channel. and go through their film rooms. And one of their earlier film rooms, I believe, is me doing Sheldon Day. And because I did a few of those for them, just here you go, help them out, give them a little bit of different content, because that's what I was doing at the time. Sheldon Day is okay against double teams, but he can't turn that power into pass rush or getting behind the line. He's good at holding his own and not giving up yardage, but he has problems advancing. I've noticed that. He doesn't have any moves to get past the line of scrimmage. So, and the Colts are built to do that. They need their defensive linemen to be able to get penetration. And Sheldon Day is not one of those guys. I think Sheldon Day is more built to be a 3-4 defensive lineman than a 4-3 defensive lineman. Okay? Just let you know. And I think Stallworth has more ability of getting the pressure, being able to get past that offensive line once in a while. You've seen it. You don't see it very often with Sheldon Day. So just let you know that. But yeah, I freaking love this, man. Colts, Steelers, and then we play the Jaguars. I like I said, beginning of the season, I said that I had the Colts going 12-4. I said it everywhere. I said it on here. I said it on Sportscaster. I said it on Twitter. I said it on the Bring the Juice podcast when I was on there with them. 12-4. I might be the only guy, analysis person, that had the Colts going 12-4. Most other people had 10-6, 11-5, 9-7. Indy Sports Talk. I don't live in Indianapolis. I live north of Indy. I live in Indiana. I live 1 hour north of Indy, right off I-69. Yeah, I-69. Y'all can laugh at that if you want, but if you're an Indiana fan, you know. If you're from Indiana, you understand. I could have went 13-3. I could have went 13-3. The only issue is the COVID situation, and I knew the Colts had an injury history. They always have big injuries on the team. And I knew it was going to happen. Someone big was going to get hurt. And it just so happened we got lucky. All right. Hated to see Marlon Mack go down week 1. I was like, oh, crap, we're in trouble. And it looked like that. It took a while for Jonathan Taylor to get in his own with the offensive line. Hooker goes down. Oh, crap. Thank God we drafted Julian Blackmon, right? I mean, honestly, because if we had not drafted Julian Blackmon, Malik Hooker going down was going to kill us. Paris Campbell. Ow. Thank Isn't that great? I hit this stupid cord. I have a problem with that when I use my hands a lot. But thank God we drafted a wide receiver, right? And Michael Pittman. Thank God we drafted. I mean, think about it. Our 3 best drafts, our 3 top drafts, the starters got hurt this year. Marlon Mack goes down. Jonathan Taylor steps in. Paris Campbell goes down. Michael Pittman steps in. Hooker goes down. Julian Blackmon steps in. Really? We couldn't have been luckier. We could not have been luckier. Period. Imagine if we had situation like Darius Leonard went down, or Quentin Nelson went down, or DeForest Buckner went down. We had no one solid near that level to step in. We ended up, the guys that went down early, we had drafted guys that were almost at that level. Now, granted, Jonathan Taylor was not at Marlon Mack's level when Marlon Mack went down. And it took a long time. But the fact that he was able to step up late in the season, same with Michael Pittman Jr., he was not at the level of Paris Campbell when Paris Campbell went down. But after he got back from injury and got a little time, man, he started to step up and doing good. So, yeah. We have a really, really fast wide receiver. Okay? God help me if Paris Campbell stays healthy. Because that kid is fast and he's good. And he was a primary target. He was unstoppable on those slants and drags. Right? Unstoppable because of his size and speed. But he got hurt. Now, they haven't ruled Paris Campbell coming back if we go deep in the playoffs, but they're saying it sounds like he may not. But they haven't ruled it out even still to this point. So that's a good thing. PCLs are tricky. PCLs could take a long time, or PCLs could take a very short time. It's personal, depending upon the severity of the injury. Well, I mean, yeah, I get it. T.Y.'s kind of quick. Michael Pittman Jr. is not super fast, but he's fast enough to get separation. Zach Pascal has been showing up. He's better this year than what he was last year with Jacoby Brissett. Okay? Showing up. Did you see that catch where he caught the football with a guy draped on him, turned around, broke that tackle, then broke another tackle, and just kept driving through another tackle to gain an extra 10 yards after that catch last week? Zach Pascal's a beast, dude. I mean, if we had a fully healthy, do we keep T.Y. Hilton next year? I say we do. But either way, give him a 2-year contract, but much less, you know. We're not paying. I don't think we can afford to give T.Y. Hilton $14 million a year like he did last time. I think somewhere between 10 and 12 would be okay, but not $14 million a year, please no. We got too many people to pay this year. But think about it. T.Y. Hilton, he's had games where he's showed up. Michael Pittman has had games where he's showed up. Zach Pascal has had games where he's showed up. I think Marcus Johnson, with enough experience and playtime, could be a very good wide receiver. I think Paris Campbell, if he could keep his ass injury-free, he could be a top 10 receiver in the NFL. But it requires him not getting hurt every 2 games. I can't turn it on right now. But, I could tell you what the score is. I don't have the game on, though. I'm busy with you guys. The Vikings Saints is 24-14 Saints at halftime. That ain't bad. I fully expected the Saints to win. I mean, they got a defense, guys. Come on now. What's Drew Brees sitting on? 10 of 15, 150 yards and a pick. Alvin Kamara is averaging 8 yards a carry. Latavius Murray is averaging 9.5 yards a carry. Well, Well, we knew that the Vikings defense wasn't all that good. I mean, we ran all over them too, so fully expect that. Juan Ramo. Yeah, we already had this discussion earlier about Quentin Nelson at right tackle. It's possible. We can see Chaz Green sitting at right tackle and then just making sure that he has help, making sure that whatever tight ends out on the field, whether it be Jack Doyle or Mo Alie-Cox, kind of shadow TJ Watt. Or we could put Danny Penner at left guard, move Quentin Nelson to right tackle. But like I said, we need Quentin Nelson to take some snaps against Kimoko Toure and see if he's able to handle that speed and bend on the edge that TJ Watt's really good at. Because if he can't, then there's no point in it. But, I mean, if Quentin Nelson was at right tackle, like I said, Quentin Nelson, Mark Glowinski, maulers in the run game with freaking Ryan at center, we'd be running right all day long against this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. DeMichael Harris is quick. DeMichael Harris is fast, but I don't know. He's good on the end arounds, but his route running's not the best, and he doesn't track the ball very well. That's the only issue I have. He doesn't adjust to the ball while the ball's in the air as well as he needs to. He's still young and needs to be coached up some. But he's good enough. I mean, he's one of those guys that really, he could be your fifth or sixth receiver or on the practice squad and just get coached up. And then in 2 or 3 years be a solid number 4. That's the way I see him. FaZe just asks, why is DeMichael keep continually being inactive? I just told you why, basically. Yeah, he is. He's good in jet sweeps, but I mean, you don't keep a player on your team for only jet sweeps, right? And we've got returners on our team. We've got Nyheim Hines is our punt returner. Nyheim Hines can kick return. And we got another returner as well. So, I mean, we've got returners. Isaiah Rodgers is our another returner we have, right? So we've got returners. It is funny that Des Patman is over to Michael Harris. Don't be surprised if, hey, Indiana Sports Talk later. Have a good one. As a matter of fact, it's been over an hour now, guys. I think I need to go as well. Don't forget, please smash that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm barely over 700 subs, man. I need to break. I'm really hoping to hit over 1,000 before the season's over with. 1,000. Well, actually, Rodgers and Nyheim Hines both, because usually you have 2 guys sitting back there, one on the left, one on the right at kick return. And Rodgers usually sits at the main kick return, and then Hines is sitting at the other side. So I think I'm done with this. I've been on here over an hour. Please subscribe, hit the like button, smash that like button. Share this to your social media. Hit that little share button down there and just copy and paste to wherever. I'd really, really, really appreciate it. We need to win this. Colts are in the driver's seat. As long as they win, they're in. If they even lose one game, even the one game, especially to Pittsburgh, there's a chance Indy won't make the playoffs, because I think that an 11-5 team this year is not going to make the playoffs. That good. Thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you. Fretless Tuba. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I will be back at some point. Hopefully we end this stupid Pittsburgh losing streak that we've been on. I think we have a better team, even with Braden Smith out. So, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well. Hope everybody has a great day. And until next time, as usual, I'm Lawrence Owen with Colts Law. And as usual, man, have a good one.